This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Ba 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 Baconsale. Ba 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 Baconsale. Ba Baconsale.
No.
Baconsale.
Stop.
Bacon, get the show that Zack Baconsale about the Baconsale.
Please stop. Help me. My ears are bleeding.
Now everyone has turned off the show. Welcome to the show.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
I'm Zack.
I'm embarrassed.
I'm a lot of things.
Yeah.
Before we started recording, Joel said, let's begin, and I'm sorry.
You'll
now
understand. If you've seen the theme of the show, you'll understand why I had to do that.
Mercy.
But we'd like to thank you for listening to our last show, our underrated 2 show, our second underrated show. Most everyone agreed with everything we said.
Yeah, no
Everything
controversy.
we all collectively said, huh?
Yeah, everything. They were like, yes, everything you said we agree on. Or they just confused us. Like Buffalo
on.
Bex on Instagram, who said, I wasn't nearly as triggered as I expected to be by this episode. Okay, so far so good.
Yeah, sounds good.
I agree with chicken and a biscuit, crackers in general. Donuts are not that good, and ketchup is gross. It's especially never belongs on hot dogs. When leftover ketchup dries on a plate bowl, insert Kent's gagged sound here. Which I was like, yeah, wait, no, yeah. Oh,
So basically, she's saying that there are many things that are overrated, but she won't outwardly disagree with us?
Well, no, she agreed with us at different times.
Yes.
And then also Oblar on Instagram as well said, Kenny 3DD, thanks for the inspiration to make an omelet this morning.
Oh, come on.
It was delicious. Also, ketchup is the worst thing on this planet as far as food goes.
I'm confused.
And once again, I was like, oh, wait.
Yay.
So I can't gloat on either one of those.
I know we did a few polls on Facebook and Twitter for if ketchup should be allowed on eggs. Mm-hmm. Do we know the results on those polls?
I won. Okay, so we're going to move on.
Oh, sure you did.
You can look them up on Baconsale on the Twitter and Facebook
You didn't
page.
win, did you? It was neck and neck.
It was very close the whole time, but when I started when one started pulling ahead, I kind of just went, okay. I think
see.
one of them, actually, the poll's still going by the time of this recording, so we'll see. But yeah, so thank you for listening to that. We really do appreciate you guys, the feedback that you give us on the show.
It's great.
And we enjoy ketchup. But that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today, Zach?
We are going to have a bit of a competition between you two to decide what kids' animated movies are the worst that you have to deal with.
So we teased this last week, and we asked you, the listener, lowercase listener, what are the worst? What are the most annoying, most dreadful, the most tormenting animated kids movies? We got a lot of choices. It was one of the most disgusting threads I've ever seen on social media. But we wanted 20. And we got more than 20. In fact, a lot more than 20. And some terrible movies,
Yes.
Some which will not be mentioned in this show today.
Well, we took all your suggestions and we whittled them down to a list of 21 picks that you, the listener, recommended.
These are not ours because we would have changed a few of these.
A couple of these we didn't feel belonged in the list. A couple of these we thought definitely belonged to this list.
Yes.
But it's now up to Kent and I to choose Zach's eternal playlist.
So what we're doing is Joel and I just walked. Close your eyes, everyone. Joel and I are walking onto the kickball field, and we are the captains.
6 feet apart.
6 feet apart. The captains of our respective
Is no one
teams.
else playing? Why are you captains?
Because we're the best. We have the best opinions.
This is movies, not soccer.
Okay, here we go.
So we walk in. There are 21 kids about to play kickball.
Don't say kids. Don't say kids.
21 characters from these movies about to play kickball, and they want to be picked so badly. And they're the worst characters known to man. They're the worst kickball players. And we have to choose from those 21, 10 each. And yes, there will be one that is not picked.
There'll be one who's left on the bench.
The worst animated movie that we were given.
We'll call him Zack.
So then,
Oh, come on.
Kent is going to have a list of 10 movies. I'm going to have a list of 10 movies at the end of this. And then Zach has to choose which of those two lists he wants to have in a hypothetical situation. We're not actually making Zach do this, right? Right, Kent?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think we have to.
But these are going to be the only movies he can watch for the rest of his life. Those 10 movies.
Yeah, so he has to pick a team, and it's the least bad. Because there's no good team. It's the least bad.
And
Wow.
we'll also be turning it over to you and letting you decide. Once we get our lists finalized, we'll let you decide which team you would pick.
And theoretically, the one left will be the worst of the worst.
Because looking at the list that you gave us, you, the listener, gave us, I would say the best movie on this list is maybe a C. C quality, and it goes straight to below the depths in the darkness.
It gets pretty bad. But Kent and I are not looking for bad. We're looking for the good in these movies. We're going to be trying to point out what is good at these movies.
Good luck
we
to
want
us.
our list to be picked. We want to win this hypothetical soccer game.
Right. And so, Zach, would you explain the rules of the draft for us?
We're not sports people.
We talked about doing it proper draft style where, if you draft first in one round, you draft second in the other. And these guys don't do sports very well.
We shot that down.
We decided to do something a little bit different. Now, factoring in that the person who picks first would probably have an advantage, we're doing something a little crazy. Whoever wins the coin toss, which we have the official Bacon Cave coin here.
Which has been sanitized.
It has been. Whoever wins the coin toss will go first. And then whoever loses the coin toss will go second and third as far as picking. And then we'll alternate from there.
Can I make a request?
Absolutely.
An on-air request?
Okay.
The person who wins the coin toss doesn't necessarily go first, but they choose whether to go first or second.
I
Oh,
like
I like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you win the coin toss, you have the option to either select to go first or to go second and third, and then we alternate from there.
That's good.
Ooh.
Zach, to get us started,
Yes.
would you read off for the listener the list of movies that we have to choose from?
The 21 movies that you, the listener, picked for us.
In alphabetical order: B Movie, The Boss Baby, Cars 3, Despicable Me, The Emoji Movie, Ferdinand, Frozen, Frozen D, The Good Dinosaur, Happy Feet, Hotel Transylvania 3, Ice Age Continental Drift, Lilo and Stitch, Madagascar, Minions, My Little Pony, the movie, The Secret Life of Pets, Shark Tale, Storks, and Trolls.
It took everything I had to not gag as you read that list.
Yeah,
This is going to be a painful show for us and hopefully for everyone else.
We hope so. And that's the thing is I feel bad with that intro, but I'm like, I don't mean to be annoying, but we're going to be talking about some annoying things today.
Yeah.
So it kind of fit the theme.
Wow.
I'm so worried.
Thanks for
Okay.
inviting me on the show, guys.
Zach, can I ask you a sports related question?
Yes.
When they do the coin toss,
Yes.
is it the home team or the visitors that get to call it?
Typically the visitors.
Thank you.
All right, just because I own the Bacon Cave, is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying we're in your home turf on this area.
Yes.
Okay, Joel.
So the home team has the advantage of their location. The visiting team gets to pick the coin toss.
So get ready to flip the coin.
Here we go.
Call it in the air.
Heads.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is tails. All right, listener. So that means Kent gets to choose either picking first or picking the following two. What do you got, Kent?
Wow. This is really tough already. By the way, this show is going to be a lot of hemming and hawing and a lot of just anxiety. So
good-
get ready for that.
Thank goodness for editing.
Joel's going first.
I'm going first.
Yeah, I'm
Joel's
going to let you
going
go
first.
first.
So I get one pick.
One pick.
One pick to start.
You will pick the overall first pick. You get this
And in
is the
theory,
highest
this-
paid usually.
In theory, this should be the best one of the bunch for me.
And it will be.
Will it, though? Because I don't think you're going to agree with me.
Okay.
Zach, for my first round pick,
Mm-hmm.
I am pointing to Little Gru over there, and I'm picking
Wow.
Despicable Me.
First off the board is Despicable Me.
And I'll tell you why.
No, you're not.
I am, because here's the thing. We all have feelings towards Despicable Me 2, 3, and Minions, and the ones that came after. But if you remember, Despicable Me, the first one, was actually kind of enjoyable because it had a heart. It had humor. It was not about the Minions. The Minions were a side character at this point who got minimal screen time. It was about Gru, and it was about the girls. This one didn't have as many fart jokes as the other ones. This one didn't have the earworms that the other ones had. This was actually an entertaining movie. Now, sure, it did give birth to many other terrible things. I should give the synopsis of the movie, shouldn't I?
I think people generally get it. If you want to give a quick one.
Just the IMDb one. When a
Yeah.
criminal mastermind uses a trio of orphan girls as pawns for a grand scheme, he finds their loves profoundly changing him for the better. And it stars Steve Carell as Gru, and then it has Miranda Cosgrove, Dana Gellar, and Elsie Fisher, little Elsie Fisher from 8th grade.
I love how you're trying to make this a heartfelt
But
family
she's the
movie.
tiny little, it's so fluffy
That's
girl.
the only good part of the movie.
There's so many good parts
This
of this
gave
movie.
birth to the end of the world as we know
We're
it.
not talking about the rest of them. We're talking about this one.
There would be
Fun
no
characters,
Minions without this movie.
Fantastic information, a lighthearted story.
All right, this is your grave.
I've never seen Minions, so I like this movie. What do you got, Kent?
And keep in mind, Zach's picking who gets which movie he watches at the end.
I don't even think I've seen the second one, so there we go.
Watch more of these movies. Well, you're going to have to after this, Zach.
Oh, no.
I'm going to go with, and by the way, a lot of our movies were very recent ones, anywhere from like 2002.
Yeah, were there
2002 was
no
the
bad
oldest.
animated movies before 2002?
There were, but these are mostly the CG animated movies because I feel like when people have to watch these with their kids, they are the more recent ones because kids may not have the patience. for the
2002
older
is more
ones.
recent.
Yeah, well, not with
Those
this
look
animation
really,
style.
those look really bad now.
Save
Yeah.
it for our pre-2002 show.
And there probably will be one.
Actually,
Depending
good
on
idea.
if the listener likes annoying cartoon shows, we may have to do another one.
So I'm going to go with actually a 2D animated movie from 2002. It's Walt Disney's Lilo and Stitch. So a Hawaiian girl adopts an unusual pet who's actually a notorious extraterrestrial fugitive. This is 85 minutes, and that's the beauty of a lot of these movies. And I'm sorry, Zach, you're going to have to watch them again and again, but they're generally under 90 minutes. There are a few exceptions here, but I feel like they actually stretch into the painful if they go over an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And sometimes some of them feel like 2.5 hours. This is 85 minutes. There's an actual theme here. It's about family, which is not so good. He eats everything and it's adorable. Lilo is a complicated character. You're killing Zach over there.
I'm poking holes in your movie.
So Lilo is a complicated character. She's eccentric. She likes Elvis and photography. She's actually like this good leading female character.
She's also, her name is Davey Chase. She played Samara in The Ring.
I know, how awesome.
This is the Ring girl.
Isn't that perfect?
You can't trust her.
Who do you not trust more, Stitch or DeVay Chase?
They're both evil.
They both come out of the well. But this was Disney's second or third or fourth Dark Age. This was their 2000s Dark Age, and Lilo and Stitch is still a very memorable movie.
Is it?
Like Despicable Me actually had a lot of terrible sequels and a really bad show, but the first movie itself is kind of it is a Disney classic. So it's not a Disney masterpiece. It's a classic.
You say Disney classic, I say Disney forgettable.
You do?
Like when this came out, I was like, wow, yeah, Disney did do Lilo and Stitch, didn't they?
No,
That wasn't
come
just a direct to
on.
DVD.
You love doing the impression. That's how much you like it. That's how memorable it is to you.
I don't remember anything about this movie.
You really don't?
Not really. I know there's O'Hanlon's family.
But the animation is so great. The Elvis soundtrack is really classy, actually. It stands above a lot of Disney movies from this time. So Lilo and Stitch is my first choice.
I like Disney movies. It may serve you well.
Really what you're picking?
Yeah.
As the best on this list?
It is the
Lilo and Stitch?
least bad.
But you get 2 picks, Ken.
I get
So
two
now you get
picks.
to go again, and then we'll alternate.
Oh, this next one is going to be the toughest one because I have two which are neck and neck.
Okay.
And there's, oh, man. And I'm trying to predict Joel's mind right now.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go with...
Why are you predicting? You're supposed to be predicting Zach's mind. This
I
is
know,
the
but
one-
I'm playing against you, though.
You're playing against Joel.
True.
Cars 3 is my second choice.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was going to...
Ken and I were both kind of shocked that Cars 2 didn't make the list.
Yeah, I mean, once again, this wasn't our choice. Cars 2 would have been on the worst animated movie list. And also, there are a lot of really low-budget, straight-to-video animated movies that we'll never watch that are worse than any of these.
Oh, we're doing that.
Oh, no.
That's it. We're going to do
Like
it. Let's do a
Delgo,
sequel
we're going
show.
to do a Delgo show.
Yeah.
Or all the Asylum animation ones. But Cars 3, it's not Cars 2, which is good. It's like the Ocean's 13 of the Pixar universe. Where you're
Better
like,
than 12.
oh,
yeah.
it's pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lot better than that second effort.
When your expectations are lower.
Also, they realized their mistake from 2, where in 2 they made Mater the central character, and it was awful. And then all of a sudden, Mater was sent to the peripheral. Like, you're like, oh, okay, it's
Yeah, but then they
comic
bring
relief
in
again.
like the trainer who becomes the passing of the torch thing.
Yeah,
That's
you didn't
what-
like that?
No, that's what everyone wanted to see. Lightning McQueen pass the torch in Cars 3.
That's what he did.
No, that's what I'm saying. No one wanted to see that.
It's sarcasm, Kent.
Oh, you don't see that as a character arc?
No.
Yeah, he was getting old. That was the point.
How can
he was
you get
aging
old
out
in a movie where you can swap out parts at
Like-
any given time?
Like
was
Hudson
destroyed.
before him.
Yeah, exactly. So he trained this new car, and also, like a Rocky movie, had to beat the new fighter, which is pretty fun. And it delivers exactly what works for the franchise. There's more racing in this one instead of some spy plot.
Racing on the sand.
Yeah, race, but still racing. So Cars 3 is my second choice.
By the way, I want to point out that Cars 3 has the tie for the biggest budget of any movie on this
Why?
list. $175
The
million.
animation in that movie
animation is quite great.
stunning.
In a couple parts. Other parts, I was like,
Is it merchandising?
I don't know.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Because the toys for the Cars franchise.
It's their number one, I think. I mean, maybe outside of Star Wars, but it's like the Pixar number one merchandising thing by far.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Wow.
All right, Joel.
Wow.
I'm ready for yours.
Okay, you have 2 so far.
Yes.
So I'm going to pick my second pick now. I'm going for 2013's Frozen.
Okay. That was going to be my next choice.
So Frozen, once again, it's one of those that I feel like everyone who bought a Frozen talking Elsa doll for their kid now hates this movie.
Let it go. Let it go.
But
That song alone, we bought a Build-A-Bear for my daughter, and it ran out of batteries, and so it became a demonic. Anyway, sorry, go on, Joel.
this one made $1.2 billion at the box office. One of our biggest ones on here. Not the biggest, but one of the biggest. And I feel like this one, if you remember, it was really cool animation the first time we saw it. Like just the snowscapes and even the ice effects when she's building the castle. It's become so cliche now because we've seen it so many times. When you first watch it, you're like, wow, that actually looks really good. And who knew that Kristen Bell had such a good singing voice? Like when she came out as Anna and singing her songs, which I actually think Love is an Open Door is probably the best song on the soundtrack.
I agree.
I love the duet. The story behind it aside, because
Yeah.
I do feel like every time people sing that one, I'm like, uh-oh, you're cursed. But I really do enjoy that song. It's cute. It won 2 Academy Awards for Best Animated Feature and Best Original Song from the wickedly talented Adele Dazeem.
Well done.
And this one, it like I said, adorable characters. Even Olaf is a lot of fun.
Oh,
in this
stop
one.
it.
He is.
This is so
Sven.
good. No, it is. Seeing you lose all integrity right now is great.
Yeah,
It's
you were
totally
happy
worth
until
it.
then.
He is good in this one, but he goes a little too
You
far.
know who else
too,
is
but-
good? Their parents. The parents that just let Elsa stay in their room and then go get killed. Those rock trolls. Why are there rock trolls?
I'm not sure.
Why is there a Kristoff?
Kristoff actually makes sense.
No, he doesn't all. You could take him right out of the movie. He'd
No.
be the same
He
movie.
has no
There's no point there.
point to him.
No, because he's there to be the guide for Anna, who has no experience in the wilderness. Of course, she needs a guide.
She would have done
and
it
and a
anyways, just
reindeer
to go
that he
get her
talks to.
sister.
I love Sven. Yoo-hoo. Yeah, and the guy at the shop.
Big summer blowout.
I feel like this one sets a bad precedent for.
I like that you reference that, Zach. Your
Yeah.
hair looks great today, by the way.
Thank you.
I hate that it sets a bad precedent for movie villains because, like, I feel like Hans is like only shoehorned. There's a story in the last 15 minutes, and that's pretty much it.
Well, this isn't about villains, Ken. This is about relationships. I'm sorry you don't understand.
Oh, tell us how much you love the personal relationships in this movie. How it changes the Disney dynamic.
no,
Please go on.
It doesn't, but I'm just saying this isn't about hero
No, it
versus
does.
villain. This is
It
about
does, but
relationship
did you
between
like the
sisters.
direction?
Do you know they got a committee of people, of sisters, to help write the screenplay for this to get a accurate representation of sisters' relationships?
Oh, so they got a committee to write this. That's why it changes tone so many times.
That's why it's only musical for the first half.
Ah, yes. How they clearly were headed towards Elsa being the villain. They're like, wait a minute, her dress is pretty. She'll be popular and sell toys. And they're like, just kidding.
So many
true.
toys.
I do wish the plot. I'm shooting myself in the foot, but I have to
no,
be
look,
true to
we have-
myself.
We have to. I'll do the same thing.
I wish the plot were as clever as the animation and the characters, because I do feel like, in regard to Disney lore, the characters they gave us were like perfect for Disney type.
The
characters,
reason I
archetypes.
hate this movie even more than Let It Go is it overshadowed a masterpiece, Entangled.
Which I loved. I like Tangled more than
left-
Frozen, but it's
I
not on
think
the list.
People should, well, because it's a great movie. And Frozen is not.
There's
No
no,
one's
way
tired
it'd be
of
on this
Tangled.
list. No way.
Yeah.
I will say this. I don't have children, so I have not seen this movie 1,000 times. So it may serve in your favor, Joel.
Yes.
We'll see. What do you got, Kent?
My Little Pony from 2017.
Dang it! Whoa. You stole it. You guys saw this together. It was adorable.
We did.
We got this together.
So Joel and I went and saw this movie. Thankfully, there was a female present with us as well.
Yes.
But there was a dad with his kids and his wife, and he saw us walking by. He goes, "See, honey, I'm not the only one." And we're like, "Yeah, but we're here as guys coming to see this without our families. We didn't bring our kids to this movie. We're basically bronies."
Don't say that.
You were.
Fluttershy for life, but don't say that.
Oh, Pinkie Pie all the way.
Rainbow
You know, Kit,
Dash?
this is actually the lowest budget and lowest grossing of any movie on the list.
Is it?
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, hipster
6.5
pride.
for the budget and $61.3 million at the box office. It didn't even break 100.
So the story of this one, after a dark forest conquers Canterlot, the main 6, by the way, that's Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy and the
you know
gang.
all of them. Come on.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, Applejack, Twilight Sparkle, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Verity,
Rarity.
and who am I missing?
Fluttershy.
Oh, I said her first.
No, you.
I said
totally
Fluttershy in the
went back.
game.
You went back to
yeah,
Applejack.
and then
Yeah,
Fluttershy.
yeah.
We are bronies.
We're not bronies.
You guys are just counting on your fingers the main 6.
I've never been. You said there
No,
was,
I was just counting for the
I've never
record.
been to a convention. I'm never going to a convention.
So they go beyond Equestria, meet new friends, and go on exciting challenges to save their homeland. There's a villain here. And so what Frozen doesn't have in a villain, somehow My Little Pony does have a good villain
with Tempest
with Tempest. And
or
it's voiced
Fizzle
by
Pop Berry Twist.
Yes, voiced by Emily Blunt. Basically, she was bullied and her horn broke, and that's why she wanted to take over the world. It's funny, but it works in this. And I think This movie didn't do a lot to bring in new fans at all. I just think it was like a love letter to people that have followed the show, and they're like, hey, here's how long is it? It's an hour and 39 minutes.
Yeah.
Here's a little love letter to you.
This is an average episode of the TV show. It's not even one of the better TV show episodes.
There's some great episodes of the TV show, though.
But this isn't one of them. This movie is kind of like an average outing into the My Little Pony franchise magic
Did
universe.
we laugh?
Well, we laughed because we were in the theater watching My Little Pony in October.
It was an October movie, huh?
Yeah.
But I do love that it's traditional animation. It didn't need to go CG to pander to new audiences. And so they kept it to what the fans loved.
I love how it's like starring Kristen Chenoweth, Liev Schreiber, Michael Pena, Sia, Tay Diggs, Zoe Saldana.
Yeah.
In side roles, because we have the main six, the main voice
Which is great,
actors.
though, that they didn't replace them with anyone.
It is, but I like they try to have this like star-powered list, but they all have like 5-minute cameos and they walk off.
I do think it was too safe as a movie. Like, it's too tame, but still enjoyable.
Dang it. I wanted My Little Pony.
I like things ironically. So,
Have you, Jack, are you
good
a
choice.
fan of My Little Pony?
I'm not a brony, but I do sort of ironically think they're pretty fun.
They're fun episodes.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Did you see the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with you, Joel. I think it was like an average episode, but it's a pretty decent show. So.
Yeah. An average episode of My Little Pony is better than most movies on this list.
That's true.
Quotes.
All right, my pick. Oh man,
Are we getting to the really bad ones?
we're in average range already.
This is the 6th movie so far.
Average of the bad.
Yeah, I'm going with 2002's Ice Age.
That was my pick as well.
Hey,
Shot.
so this one, this is the original one where they find a human infant and they're just trying to return it to the tribe. There was no overly complicated story or stretched out believability where it's like, why are they doing what they're doing?
That's not till the sequels.
Yeah. This is only 81 minutes, the shortest movie in the
That
entire
barely
That is
qualifies
the-
as a feature.
That is the longest 81
Which
minutes.
Joel,
No, but that's what I'm saying though. Like in regard to kids movies, you throw this one, you're like, oh, thank goodness, that was so quick.
can I ask a favor?
Yeah.
Can we do an Ice Age anthology show? Ice Age retrospective where we watch all 5 movies.
There's 5.
But you have to defend them like the Michael Bay episode.
We'll see.
So this one was okay. The animation has not aged well.
Really
But
poorly.
It has, but it was an original story with unique characters, and it gave us Scrat, which I do enjoy. The
Scrat's the best part of the movie.
Every time Scrat pops up, it's kind of the interlude thing. I'm like, haha, Scrat, because it's the whole thing of like telling a story without words, and I'm always intrigued by that.
A short film placed within the movie where you have Ray Romano as the main character.
Deborah's not Raymond.
Not a mammoth. And then you got John Leguizamo as the fastest sloth in the world.
Yeah, Sid the Sloth.
Because like he's a sloth, but he doesn't actually do anything sloth-like.
Yeah.
And then Dennis Leary as the
Diego.
as the saber-tooth tiger.
Right.
Actually, one of the parts I genuinely laugh at is when he's doing peekaboo with the baby. I don't know why.
The
but I thought
baby
it
is
was
one of the
hilarious.
most hideous creations in CG history.
I think I just watched was it an Honest Trailer or CinemaSins or one of those, but they said Disney tries to make their characters look cute, whereas DreamWorks is like, nah, we're good. So yeah, I chose Ice Age because I feel like this is watching it again. There were
it's the best Ice Age.
it is the best Ice Age.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Better than the real one. But
Too soon?
It's a pretty simple story, but I think that's good. I think it's good for people to kids to be able to watch that, and there's enough humor I think to
Do you think
pull the
kids
building.
could still get into it even though the animation is so dated?
I think so, only because my kids watch stupid Flash animation YouTube videos.
Oh,
still
my
sometimes.
God.
They're tiny baby brains.
Yeah,
And we're not saying kids are dumb.
but they like dumb stuff.
Yes.
sometimes.
And sometimes they're dumb.
I'm trying. Guys, here's the thing. I feel like such a snob because I try so hard to have my kids like good movies.
For example.
Well, for example, I show them a movie and they're like, are there sequels for this? I'm like, no. No, there are no sequels.
Right.
Because I'm like, I don't want you to watch the sequel and say, I like number 4 best. And I'm like, number 4 is never the best of
Yeah.
any franchise.
Shrek disagrees with you.
Shrek Forever After.
Kidding.
I felt like I had a parenting win this past week because I watched Trolls World Tour, which is not going to be mentioned on this show,
Yeah, it didn't make the cut.
but it should have been because it's atrocious. And I have a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, and my 6-year-old's like, Dad, you got to watch it. You're going to love it. My 10-year-old goes, Dad, it sucks. And I'm like, watch your mouth, but also high five.
I'm so proud of you.
So yeah, these aren't great movies, but I think Ice Age is one of the lesser offensive ones.
I think that this is still like, honestly, these are decent. I don't think we're into like truly terrible yet.
Speaking of bad animation, my next choice is from 2005 and it's Madagascar.
Dang it.
Oh,
You shook my neck. Why are you copying my list?
Because we have very similar interests when it comes to this. We know what's bad and what's good. So Madagascar, kind of like Ice Age, it doesn't look great.
Oh, it looks so bad.
Yeah.
But it's got King Julian.
And that's the best part of the movie.
I like to move it. I like to move
For
it.
your
move it.
Scrat, I have King Julian. And I think Scrat is a great, fun part of the movie, but a very short part. King Julian is a good feature.
King
part
Julian
of
is like
movie.
the opposite of Scrat. He talks too much.
But it's so much fun.
It is.
Really is the most fun part because
It's Sacha Baron Cohen having a good time.
they
Played by?
because I mean, look, I actually just want to talk about the bad parts, but I know that's not part of the game.
You can if you want to. You can talk about the lazy humor and the animation that looks really dated and
All the fart noises.
tons of scatological humor.
Yeah, and it's a lot of references in this movie.
Music by Hans Zimmer.
See? Thank you, Joel. Music by Hans Zimmer.
He's slumming. He is slumming in
Are you
Madagascar.
saying he got a paycheck for Madagascar?
I think he may have got paid for this, yes.
But
I do love
these movies
Hans
were
Zimmer.
very successful. Then there was the Disney copycat called The Wild.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone kind of
Did that
forgot
come out
about.
before or after?
I think it was within a month. I'm trying to remember. It may have been made before because we had a copycat show where we talked about both. But Ben Stiller is good as the lion. Chris Rock is good as the zebra.
Ross
Yeah, Ross.
is the giraffe with a broken neck.
Yeah, the giraffe is it's pretty cool. Like I think
The
it's
giraffe,
a
I think,
fun
is probably the
character.
strongest character.
I agree.
Because he's funny.
Yeah, and there's actually like a personality to him other than like I forgot what I'm like in nature. But this movie has some good jokes.
I'm telling you, though, when it
Yes.
comes to zoo design, worst I've ever seen. It's not even realistic. They have like 3-foot fences, and like it's supposed to be Central Park Zoo, and it's like these 3-foot fences.
You're saying this movie where animals are celebrities and
Yes.
dancing in the street, it's unrealistic?
I'm saying that it's not even like a real zoo. It's like a mini golf course where they have
Hold
predators
on.
and prey living right
Let's
next
pull
to
it
each
back
other.
to Ice Age again real quick and talk about realism.
Okay, go
So they're
for it.
rescuing this Inuit child.
Yeah.
And then in the next movie, they find dinosaurs.
That's the next movie.
Were you around back then? Maybe there were dinosaurs.
I hope so.
But I'm saying that just like the design, I was like, look, you have these characters look stylized.
They're
but
trying
the
to make
zoo,
it like
I could
a
not get
ritzy,
past.
ritzy Central Park Zoo. And of course it doesn't make sense.
It's like a 2-foot fence and a lion sitting there talking to a
But they
giraffe.
love their life. They love it so much that they
though?
struggle when they get to Madagascar.
And you love how Ben Stiller's character of the lion, I can't remember his name right now, but how he does Blue Steel.
Yeah.
Because of their
It's actually
the
Len
Zoolander
Tigray.
fame.
Alex. Alex is his name.
It's
Alex,
Of
thank
course it
you.
is.
Of course, it's Alex.
I can only remember Melman.
Excuse me. I don't trust the zoo architecture.
Pivot.
Pivot. All right, Joel, you're up. What do you got next?
Okay. This was one I'm going to pick now where I thought it was going to be so much worse than it actually was. Because I chose Storks.
Storks.
So Storks,
Thanks for not choosing any of mine.
It's coming off the board early.
Storks was one where I went into it just like, I am going to hate this. It looks so bad.
You just love Andy Samberg.
Do you love him? Yes, I do. I do.
How you like me now?
Cool. So if you like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you're probably going to like Storks.
Oh, that's a strong claim.
No, because it's that Andy Samberg type of humor, and you get kind of this Jake, what is his last name? Peralta. So they have that type of character. He's that type of character that's kind of, little bumbling, little
Can you
foolish.
give us the story synopsis?
Oh, yes, please.
Because you talked about realism, about the zoo walls. Could you talk about storks real quick?
Well, okay, in this fantasy world, Kent, not Central Park Zoo,
Because that wasn't a fantasy cartoon.
storks have moved on from delivering babies to packages. But when an order for a baby appears, the best delivery stork must scramble to fix the error by delivering the baby. So this is directed by Nick Stroller, who did Forgetting Sarah Marshall and Neighbors.
And Neighbors 2.
Yeah,
Very
But then he did
rated
this
R
one.
movies.
Yeah, but now this one he did. Like I said, I didn't find it annoying as I thought I would. It was a funny job by Andy Samberg. There were enough funny jokes. The baby being cute joke never got old for me the entire time.
You didn't just find it loud. This movie was aggressively loud to me.
No, I didn't think it was loud. And you got Key and Peele doing the wolves, which made me laugh.
Like the 900 jokes they repeat.
Yeah, but it was good.
Wolfplane.
It was so fun.
That's the joke.
It was funny though. So yeah, Storks.
That's like Up funny.
I like Up.
Okay.
Remember?
I know.
But I feel like Storks is one of those that I wouldn't have given a shot had my kids not forced me to watch it. But it was when I watched it and I'm like, I was not annoyed by that. I actually kind of enjoyed parts.
That's the bar.
Wow.
That's the bar we're at now. It's slowly
It's only
sinking.
getting worse.
Oh, that fear of quicksand is real.
Oh, man.
By the end, it's going to be like, I didn't jump out of a building while watching this. That's a win.
Our integrity is slowly degrading or quickly.
I want to hear you say all of the good things about these terrible movies.
That's what I'm trying to do. And the kid's like, your integrity is gone.
I'm so excited.
For my next pick,
What do you got?
I'm going into the unknown.
Oh, wow.
Into the
Take it.
unknown.
Take it, Kent. The highest grossing on the list, $1.4 billion.
How? Because it's a Frozen sequel. 6 years after that first one, got crazy popularity. Joel, I know you just recently watched this one.
I did.
And this one, like, I'll have to give both sides on this because I can't just say it's like a great movie. This is a tier 2 of this list.
You're not going to talk it up for Zach?
Well, Zach's seen it.
I've seen it.
You're not going to try and convince him?
Like, he already knows it's great.
It makes no sense.
The visuals are amazing. The environments, like the animation, is top notch.
But it makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
They made up the rules as they went along.
Yep, they did.
They're like, now there's fog. It doesn't let people in.
Hey, Elsa's the Ice Queen, but let's give her expanded ice powers.
You know, my favorite thing a movie sequel does is when it completely resets everything that was done in the first movie. When it's like, okay, Elsa's made this character arc.
So does it make...
Now she's insecure again.
Does it make the first movie worse? Because you know how they give the whole explanation of the parents?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, Elsa, we don't really know what's going on. Stay in your room.
No,
I think these two movies together make each other worse. There is a tonal shift as far as Christoph's whole betrothal comedy scenes. But when he sings Lost in the Woods, love it or hate it, it's different enough to wake you up. And that's what this movie needed. That's something to wake you up.
You say wake you up because it's true, because your eyes start glazing over and that comes on. You're like, what's happening? Why is he singing with reindeer in Bohemian Rhapsody style?
And it's kind of classic.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun.
And this movie is desperately looking for the next most annoying song on the planet, which is still Let It Go.
I think Into the Unknown is better.
You think it's a better song?
I think it's a better song.
No, it is a better song. It's not as annoying as Let It Go.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
Joel, it's awful. It's just not as awful.
Well, the problem is this one's dominating my house right now. Although my children
yeah.
absolutely love this soundtrack and listen to it all the time.
I know.
And I find it annoying until I see my little 2-year-old singing along to Olaf's
why wasn't this like a top
When I'm
pick?
Older thing. Because I still can't stand it. I love my 2-year-old. I love when she sings it, but I don't like
Have
this
they
movie.
made you go onto like Spotify and go for the unreleased tracks? Because there's some good unreleased tracks they didn't put in this movie.
No, thank
They
goodness.
probably
Don't tell them.
should have.
Don't listen to this, kids.
If they're listening now.
You know what I really love from my snowman? Existential dread.
Yeah, you love that. You love when they just like worry about how they became created and where they're going. Like,
This is a movie for adults, basically.
this felt like, but it felt like the B-sides. It felt like the B-sides of songs with like this new cool animation they had.
Well, this is the disadvantage of maybe this list because there's not all these sequels. Like we talked about Madagascar, but not 2 or 3, or Despicable Me, but not 2 or 3. Sequelitis is real. And when it gets to a sequel like this, you're going to feel it.
Well, just because it felt like okay, so this movie, spoiler alert for Frozen 2.
You've seen
If
it.
you haven't seen it 30
But like
times.
I said, Elsa goes back to her point 1, which was I'm unsure of who I am. I'm like, what happened to the last movie when you discovered who you were? And then her and Elsa are once again estranged.
The river was singing to her, Joel.
But then it gets to the end, and all of a sudden Anna's willing to sacrifice an entire town of people that she grew up with to unlock a fog forest that she just met.
It's a challenging
with
movie.
forced diversity in it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You just made it deeper for me, Joel. Thank you.
I just got to the end and I was like, well, that was kind of stupid.
But she saved the day while riding a water horse.
That was Elsa. She didn't
Yeah,
know
Elsa
Elsa was going to
saved the
do that.
day.
Anna basically said, okay, I'm killing everyone I knew and loved.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're up in the
Anna's
hills.
irredeemable. She can die.
She's
Kids.
so adorable, though.
Her name's Anna.
Did I say Anna or is Anna?
I said Anna. We
I
both
meant
did.
Anna.
Well, I think Frozen 2 is like the Batman and Robin because they just swap out costumes all the time so they can sell merchandise.
Totally.
Yeah, honestly, a quick story here. I went to China. I went to a couple cities in China, and I actually went into this store that was playing a 30-second clip of Frozen, and it was just Into the Unknown over and over and over again. Still didn't get that sick of it. So
Really?
honestly, I
I
don't
do
mind
like
it.
the aria that goes with it. The little,
Yeah, it was that part.
yeah, like how they come together. I kind of like that. But then
That's
at the
really cool.
end, like it was one of those things where, okay, whenever a movie or a TV show, whenever the final battle takes place in someone's mind, I kind of lose interest. 'Cause I'm like, there's no real stakes here. Like no one's actually getting hurt.
And the side characters introduced here are really forgettable. Once again, like Frozen 1, there's no great villain. There is no villain here.
Grandfather.
In the past?
Grandfather was the great villain. But then there's the rock monsters that come and go.
And they're fine, unless they're not.
No, not the little rock trolls.
No, I know, the big giant
The
ones
big,
that are threatening,
strong
but they're not
hands.
meant to be evil either.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, they have okay.
I
so
forgot about that part.
They have the 4 elements. They
That's
have
right.
this little toothless lizard.
What about
Uh,
Lilo Dallas?
And then
Yeah,
they have
multipass.
Well, that's the thing. Apparently, Elsa is the 5th element, which is ice, which is not water.
It's just water.
I guess.
Well,
Look, if you missed that day in science class. All right, what's
all right.
your pick?
Joel, you're up next.
We just did a review on
You
Frozen
made me
2.
scroll down for that one.
Thank you for coming to our Frozen 2 Bacon Bit.
All right. I picked this one, and I knew I could pick it later on because I knew Kent was going to put it way, way down. This tied for biggest budget on our list, along with with the Cars 3. I'm choosing The Good Dinosaur.
What?
Now, Kent, lest you forget.
This is bottom 3 for me.
Lest you forget, I did not hate this movie as much as you and Jacob did.
Why
This-
didn't you? What
Because-
happened?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. Because this is, without a doubt, the most beautifully animated movie on this list. The just the visuals of this movie in regard to the Yellowstone environment.
Desert scenes.
No, it's this beautiful water scenes and mountain scenes.
You think between
and,
this and Frozen 2? You think this one's still
I think this one's better
animated?
because this one looks. It's like realism. You're
Or
watching
landscape.
Yeah, you're watching this landscape, and you're like, it looks like a real landscape. And then this hokey dinosaur comes walking through.
Right.
It looks kind of terrible.
Right.
And I really don't understand the premise of what if the meteor didn't kill the dinosaurs?
And then they don't follow it up.
Yeah.
Basically,
They
they're
don't.
like, dinosaurs get jobs.
yeah,
Yeah, but like they did it more clever in Onward, of like
I still
actually
haven't seen it.
creating a society out of it.
Yeah.
Wasted opportunity.
But this one-
Irrigating dinosaurs.
you put this one on like 4K, beautiful TV. You play this one in the background, and you're not going to get sick of it because I mean,
Is
you're going
this,
to be like,
is this what you use to help put you to sleep?
well, this is like the stuff you put on in a TV to show off or in a TV store to show it off, like you work at Best Buy or Costco or something like that.
And landscape is good, but the main dinosaurs are kind of awful.
Well,
Like,
they are.
They look like Sinclair dinosaurs.
I don't like the art style.
No, that's just it.
But yeah, the environments are amazing.
I think they blew
Right.
their budget on the environments, and then they're like, "Crap, we only got a crayon to draw the main characters. What do we do?"
Remember this one? They made the whole movie. It was almost like a solo sort of thing. They made a whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Someone didn't like it along the way. They fired the whole voice cast and rewrote the whole movie and released it the same year as Inside Out. And this one is like everyone loved Inside Out, and I say everyone.
Yeah.
I didn't love it, but this one came out. They're like, "What happened, Pixar? What just happened?"
And I feel like this was a straightforward Western, and I don't know why they needed to put dinosaurs and a dog child in it.
Because
But
yeah.
that really didn't make a lot of sense to me. But I think maybe it's because I have a soft place in my heart for Yellowstone. But because we go up there almost every summer,
Right.
and I watched this one, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is that same type of environment, and I love that.
it's the same Lion King story. Dad dies.
It's such a rip off of so many other movies.
So many other movies. I got a review from a 7-year-old on Common Sense Media. And the 7-year-old said, and I don't think he's 7, by the way. I think it's a parent, but it says, "I am 7, and I really love Disney movies, but this one, the worst." There's no real grammar here. First, there are a lot of really gross things in the movie, like bug heads getting ripped off. There's also
Yeah.
a close-up view of this. It's so creepy. Lots of violence. This is the real truth about The Good Dinosaur. I hated it.
wow.
From the kids, Joel.
From the kids.
I think
the
this is
babes.
a movie maybe for older people that want
My
to just
kids-
take their dentures out and fall asleep.
My kids have never asked to see this movie after we watched it, to be honest. But like, I think about moments like the fireflies in the tall grass. Like, that's a beautiful moment, and I think it's one that people remember.
So you're saying
even if they don't remember the rest of the movie.
Okay, to help Zach mix up a lot of the aggressively annoying movies like Storks, this one would help kind of change the pace.
Yeah, like this is one you could put on and like fall asleep to, or just put on in the background and
get
be like,
that.
a beautiful end. Like say you were quarantined indoors for a long period of time.
Let's just say that.
You could put this on and be like, oh, beautiful outdoor environment.
Well, Joel, I hate this movie. Bad choice. Next.
But it's beautiful. You have to admit
It
it's
is
beautiful.
beautiful. I will agree. Terrible movie.
Oh, this is tough, but I'm choosing for Zach here and not what I think is a better movie. The Secret Life of Pets.
Ooh.
Okay.
And because I know Zach is a dog fan,
I am.
and this is, you don't need a synopsis here. The writers are like, hey, what's a good movie? Toy Story.
No. What's a really good story? What's a really good movie? Oliver and Company. No. What's a really good movie? Flushed Away.
Homeward Bound, I guess. Flushed Away? Did you say Flushed Away?
Better
Flushed Away's
movie.
good.
Better movie than Secret Life of Pets.
Well, it's why I didn't make this list.
but it's the same exact story.
Yeah, it's like, hey guys, wouldn't it be fun to see what animals do? And then they showed it all in the trailer, which is apparently listen to System of a Down. But what the movie tells you is animals don't really do much. They're kind of actually boring, unless one of them gets lost and they go on a huge adventure in the sewers.
One of them's force lost. One of them gets knocked over by a lamp, I think, and falls out the window into Sid's yard, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then the other one has to go save him.
This one does have, like, the comedy here is great.
Louis C.K. is great, Kent. Zach, if you vote for this one, you're voting for Louis C.K.
so
to know.
much that they replaced him in the sequel
And
with
Kevin
Patton
Hart.
Oswalt.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart actually, as Snowball the Bunny, he's fine.
Yeah, with the poop jokes in the trailer.
So here's a really clever quote, and it's a conversation between Buddy and Pops. And Buddy says, so they're walking into the sewer, and Buddy says,
Wait, who's Buddy and who's
doesn't
who's
matter. Pops.
Pets. They're
And
pets,
Buddy
Joel.
says,
Are they both dogs? That's all
Buddy
you need to
says,
know.
what does that smell? And Pop says, it's poo-poo with a dash of caca. Kids movies are the worst.
Why do kids' movies always resort to that?
There's so much. I looked at the
Hold
parents.
your children to a higher standard of humor.
Fart jokes are funny, Joel.
I looked at the parents' guide on each of these, and it was all poop or fart jokes.
Yeah.
On every single one of these
So if we
movies.
do the Parents Guide game with this one,
Yeah.
but that's what we'll do.
I chose this one strictly for the animal lovers who maybe didn't like Toy Story or couldn't relate. This one has really loud animals. And so if you're an animal fan, yay.
Honestly, the best part of this movie is the teaser trailer before it even came out, where it's just like, what happens when pets are alone?
I like the gag of the poodle doing the head bashing to the thrash metal.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
That was it.
The dachshund getting scratches from the kitchen.
That grossed me out.
That's gross. All right, Joel, you got another pick.
Oh boy.
Oh, by the way, we are just over halfway through. That was Kent's sixth pick. This is now Joel's sixth pick.
Ooh, it's getting good.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with Hotel Transylvania 3.
You sound, your heart's in it.
Now, I've been pleasantly surprised by the Hotel Transylvania franchise, because it is like the animated version of Grown Ups.
You should hate it, right?
I should. But the thing is, I was like, I'll give the first one a shot. Now, I don't want to talk about the other ones. This one isn't as witty as the first one or even the second one. This one kind of drifts by. And it's about, so this is when Count Dracula and all his hotel and guests
It's
apparently...
called the colon is summer vacation.
Yeah, they go on a cruise to the Bermuda Triangle. And
Dracula needs to fall in love because everyone else has
needs to
a
zing.
significant other, and he
Needs
has
to zing.
Yeah, for the second time in his life.
So, and it stars Adam Sandler, Andy Samberg, Selena Gomez, Kevin James, Fran Drescher, Steve Buscemi, Molly Shannon, David Spade, Keegan-Michael Key, like a ton of people that you know from these types of movies.
And you should
Mel
hate
Brooks. He's a comedic legend. He's a comedic legend, Kent. Mel Brooks is.
He's in like 12 of these movies, by the way.
The animation, though, actually is still pretty fun. And it's like I like the look of Hotel
Well, it's
Transylvania.
Jendy Tarkovsky,
Yes.
and that style is great. It's
He
Dexter's
did Clone
Laboratory.
Wars.
Yeah.
He did Clone Wars. He did the first two Hotel Transylvanias. So, yes, the premise is ridiculous. But this is kind of the end of the line of the franchise. Like, you can tell they're running out of steam.
They're making a fourth.
Oh, my gosh.
That's how exasperated you got by number 3. Because you like the first two.
I think they're enjoyable. And even this one, I still was like, fine. I think I did. I gave it 3 stars. So I'm like, you know what?
did?
I'm like, yeah, average. It passed the time. I was not offended by it, except for the music at the end was really annoying. When the Awaken the Kraken music was annoying.
The DJ battle at the end,
Yeah, with the Macarena.
they used the Macarena
They literally used the Macarena.
in 2018.
I like the Macarena. I'm
That's-
just kidding. I don't-
It's okay to like the
Zach.
Macarena if you want to.
No.
But this is definitely... It had enough fun moments to keep me entertained.
Was it Monster Tinder that Dracula was on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that.
No, but they had the great gag of like that hot witch, and then he clicks on her, and she's like this old hag, and she doesn't look like her profile picture. That's funny,
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Here's what I don't like about this movie, because I like the first two.
Yeah.
Like my kids really like these movies, and I was like, oh, the third one's coming out. So hopefully
You are
the
a big Adam
quality's gonna be
Sandler
good.
fan, so
Somehow in these movies I am until the third one, when like I think the side characters are some of the better parts, and there was nothing to do. Like, it was just a Dracula story, and it wasn't really strong. He or Mavis or anyone, no one had anything to do except for fall in love, which is sequelitis in all these animated
because they were
movies.
trying to focus on Van Helsing and that whole thing, which was kind of ridiculous.
Right.
But, man.
I have a friend who, she's a mom of a couple kids, and I asked her this question, like, what are the worst animated movies? And her two answers were The Good Dinosaur and Hotel Transylvania 3. So you didn't win her over.
Wow.
Ooh, hope she doesn't listen.
My next pick is from 2017. It's Ferdinand.
Ferdinand.
Okay.
After Ferdinand, a bull with a big heart, is mistaken for a dangerous beast, he is captured and torn from his home. Determined to return to his family, he rallies a misfit team on the ultimate adventure. It's an hour and 48 minutes, so
Starring
it's
John Cena!
John Cena as a voice actor. Who knew?
He's so
Can we
talented.
call him a voice actor?
Or-
Or did he
listen.
walk into a booth and say things? And
Listen,
then it got
Ray
put on
Romano and John Leguizamo.
better than John Cena.
Ray Romano, because John Cena actually kind of, people don't know his voice well enough that it could be the main character. You can't unsee Raymond when you see Manny. But yeah,
man.
So John Cena is probably the best part about this movie because he's a
Oh
big
my
oaf.
gosh.
He's a big oaf in real life.
Yeah.
And the story itself is cute. I like the short
You know
story
David
it's based
Tennant's
on.
in this, right?
Is he really?
He's the Scottish cow.
Perfect.
But you just said that John Cena was
Is
the
he
best
Bones?
part.
He's Bones, huh?
Is Bones the one? I don't know their names. He's the one that has the hair in front of his eyes that can't see the whole time.
Okay. See, this movie just got better.
It's got Flula Borg in it too, who I think is funny.
Fuda.
And then as Kate McKinnon.
And poop jokes in the trailer.
For example, here's a quote. I can't wait to show you to the rest of the guys. They're going to fertilize the yard. Hilarious.
Ferdinand has the longest runtime of any movie on the list. 108 minutes. You'll be suffering through this movie for 108 minutes.
There's no suffering in this movie because it's still a tier 2
It's a
of this
long movie.
movie.
Oh, no.
I'm really sorry. But I think Ferdinand, it definitely plays on the typical tropes of bull in the china shop. And he is a cute character, and this story it's based off of is fun.
Cute
but like a
character.
lot of animated movies, it does stretch it out way too long.
But there's so much I want to say. One thing
go on.
Well, I was just gonna say, but you're gonna get after me because it defies the laws of physics, where like he can fit into some small spaces, but in other ones he's like, oh, I can't fit in there. I'm too big, and I'm
Right.
like, you were just going through a doorway the size of a human.
It does fall into the typical tropes where basically the animals are riding a car at the end in a huge chase scene. That's in like 4 of these movies on the
There's
list.
a lot of these movies where I'm like,
The Finding Dory syndrome.
yeah, it's like, is it really happening or is it not really happening?
Right.
Because when the guy's sitting there having conversations, like he's looking out in which bull to pick in the arena,
Yes.
and they're looking at him like, oh, pick me, and I'm like, if I were a bull owner and the bulls were actually conscious of what I was doing, that would be weird when I send them off to meet
Charlotte's
market.
Web. Yeah.
This one, by the way, had one of those weird Rotten Tomato things where like 71% of the critics gave it a positive score, so I got 71. 50% from the audience.
Oh, wow.
So apparently this is critically acclaimed.
Critically Ferdinand, the shy bull.
All right, Joel, your pick is next.
Come on.
Where are we at?
They're all bad. They're all bad
I
from
think
here.
that might have been the last like redeemable one.
Okay.
I would like to. I'm going to check in with the listener.
Yeah, what
really
do we have
quickly.
left on the list?
What's left is B Movie, The Boss Baby, The Emoji Movie, Happy Feet, Ice Age Continental Drift, Minions, Shark Tale, and Trolls. Good luck, Joel.
Okay.
Oh, you seem confident.
No, I don't. I am going to go with B Movie.
I do like memes.
That's what I was going to say.
That's it.
Actually, that's on my pros. It says memes because I've seen the memes where it's like every time they say the word B,
It gets faster.
it gets faster. Every
10%
time they make
faster.
a B pun, it goes faster.
Memes are generally there because it's so bad, though.
So B Movie is the story's Barry B. Benson.
I'm done already.
A bee just graduated from college, is disillusioned at his lone career choice, making honey. On a special trip outside the hive, Barry's life is saved by Vanessa, a florist in New York City. As their relationship blossoms, he discovers humans actually eat honey and subsequently decides to sue them.
Can we rewind? As their relationship blossoms, human Vanessa, Barry B. Benson.
There's a weird relationship vibe there, and apparently bees can talk to humans,
Yeah.
and they always have been able to, or something.
Well, you should probably talk before you date.
This was one of those movies where
Take your own advice.
this is one of those movies where I feel like they had an idea.
It should have worked. It's a high concept idea. Jerry Seinfeld behind it.
And then they got to a point and they're like, okay, now let's extend the movie. Like they had the relationship and they're like, let's go with the lawsuit. And it's like this whole other movie. That's like part 2.
And it causes the apocalypse.
Let's put a B in court.
Yeah.
And Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta playing himself, which was actually kind of funny.
It's funny.
That actually was a good one.
And then B. Larry King.
Yeah, B. Larry, like the puns were so lazy too.
bad.
It's like B. Larry King
Sting shows up in court, though.
instead of Larry B. King or something like that.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah, they really did kind of lean on the puns here and hope that would save them, and they didn't because the budget was 150 million and it only made 293 million.
So I have a quote from this one. This is from Barry's dad. He says, "We're very proud of you, son, and a perfect report card. All B's."
Oh,
That's the joke.
That's
This whole movie.
That's the extent of the joke. That's why it's so horrifying to me how they were just so lazy about it. Because Jerry Seinfeld's a funny guy. He's a funny guy.
Would you rather watch this or Ants?
B movie.
You would? I'd rather
Yeah.
watch Ants.
I
It's in
can't-
Woody Allen.
Yeah, Woody
Jerry
Allen.
Seinfeld over Woody Allen.
I think so.
Yeah, I would take B.
Both
movie.
so bad.
So bad.
Okay, Kent.
I think you said that with way too much glee.
Because he's off the hook for a second.
Joel took the other one, so I'm going to have to go with Ice Age Continental Drift from 2010. The fourth, not the fifth, by the way. Usually by the fifth one, it should be the worst, but the listener picked, I think 3 of them did.
Yeah.
Ice Age Continental Drift.
I did think it was funny how like they jump over movies like that. Like the listener would be like, not the third one, not the second one, not the third one, but the fourth one.
Or the fifth one. Oh, man. So in this movie, who cares what's happened before? But it does borrow strongly from the plot of the second one. Manny, Diego, and Sid embark upon another adventure after their continent is set adrift. Using an iceberg as a ship, they encounter sea creatures and battle pirates as they explore a new world.
Okay, so like that was so bizarre to me because like the first couple, it was really, and you're gonna laugh, but they really tried to go for the realism there, where it was like
Dawn of the Dinosaurs?
Well, I just mean like this is the story of a mammoth and a sloth and a saber-tooth tiger trying to get
It's a road trip.
trying to survive.
Yes.
Now they're having like monkeys on ice pirate ships, and I'm like, what is happening?
Peter Dinklage as Captain Gut?
I do mean that.
The voice acting he does is great. The fact that there are ice pirates is absolutely ridiculous.
It is.
But I know you guys like pop stars in your movies.
Yeah.
So in this one, you have Jennifer Lopez as Diego's love interest. And also as Manny's daughter. Oh, Queen Latifah, by the way, is Manny's wife. He met her in number 2.
Yeah.
And as his daughter, Nicki Minaj. Very relevant.
Oh, this is basically cats.
It's kind of cats.
All these animals, not the actors, I should clarify. All these animals should be dead by now.
They should.
This is not this story. Should
And they
not
still
keep
had
going.
another movie to go.
Yeah.
This movie made enough money that they made another one that eventually killed it.
It's also got Wanda Sykes in it, who I'm not a Wanda
Oh,
Sykes
it's
fan.
Granny
She's the
Sloth.
granny, yeah.
The best part about this movie, this was the highlight, is as an animated short, and that, Zach, you'll be able to watch when you pick My Team, has a Simpsons animated short, and it's called The Longest Daycare.
Oh,
It's actually really good.
I've never seen it.
Yeah. It's very funny.
Okay, so Mr. Pork Barreling, throwing your additions on there to your movies, that's not fair.
Well, look, it's part of the movie.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
If you get this in streaming, you're not getting that.
So does that mean with the Pixar and the Disney, we get the short before too?
Yes.
No, only on Ice Age Continental Drift.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But there's a funny line. This is actually a legitimately funny line, and it's not about fart jokes. It's from Sid, and he says, "If I don't make it, find me a wife and tell her I love her." That's kind of funny,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's about what I said during the movie, too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
Good
Yeah.
job, Leguizamo.
All right.
All right.
Good choice, Kent. Joel.
You know, Finding Nemo gets so much love.
This is my pick, too.
Finding Nemo no, it's not. It's my pick now. Because I'm choosing Shark Tale.
Oh, man.
Because I'll tell you, what kids really wanted in 2004 was references to The Godfather and Goodfellas, because kids love those movies. And so having Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese, overrated, in his only starring role. Oh, Ken thinks he's actually very good in this role, apparently.
He's so good in this role.
With his eyebrows.
He calls himself-
Fish with eyebrows.
He calls himself Puff Daddy.
He does. If you don't know, when the son of a gangster shark boss is accidentally killed while on the hunt, his would-be prey and his vegetarian brother decide to use the incident to their own advantage. So Will Smith is the main fish here, and he's touted up as this shark killer.
Yeah.
Jack Black is the vegetarian shark who helps him. And I'm impressed with the cast. Will Smith, Robert De Niro, Renee Zellweger twice in a row for me. Jack Black, Angelina Jolie, Martin Scorsese. Dougie Doug,
Whoa.
Peter Falk, Katie Couric.
The puns in this one are so funny, though. Like, they're not even
Talk about
trying.
your animation not holding
The
up.
weird thing is, I think this came out the exact
this is
same
probably-
year.
This makes me the most seasick.
Well, because this came out the exact same year as Finding Nemo, right? And they came
Yes,
out
it
at the
was,
same time.
2004.
And Finding Nemo looked like this beautiful underworld scene. This looked like these weird-looking eyebrowed fish floating in air.
Well, it's like a muddy Times Square that they highlight in this movie, and it looks like barnacles are all over everything.
It's not the animation.
Barnacles.
Like Finding Nemo, you watch today, it still looks good. You watch Shark Tale now, and you're like, oh, this looks like one of those animated DVDs that you got like from Redbox for
But
the
to
knockoff
your
version.
credit, Joel, this movie has a fish that owns a sushi restaurant. And he's like a crazy fish with like a twerked eye.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
Also, some of the puns. O.J. Shrimpson. That's in the movie.
Which is better than B. Larry King.
You also chose that.
I know, but I'm
these
just
are
thinking-
both your movies.
I'm so annoyed by the puns in B movie.
Instead of Gap, they have Gup. Instead of Old Navy, they have Old Wavy. Instead of Coca-Cola, they have Coral Cola. Instead of Burger King, they have Fish King. Don't get it.
Fish burger.
Fish King.
Why would they have? We don't have Human King.
I know.
How would you have King?
I'm not going to Human King.
All right, Ken, pick next.
Well, we are 80% of the way through. We have 8
no.
choices. There are 5 left.
What do we have left?
and then one of these is not going to get picked.
One of these
gonna
is
be
not
left on the
getting picked.
bench. Sad.
We are left with The Boss Baby, The Emoji Movie, Happy Feet, Minions, and Trolls. Go, Kent. What do you got?
Joel, you want to shake hands? Well, from 6 feet away and say we're done? I feel like we should be done.
Oh,
I
we
feel
have
like
to
we
go.
shouldn't
Nope.
put ourselves or the listener through this.
I think we have to press on. Ken.
And I want you to say good things about all of them.
The best movie of this 5.
Don't say best anytime for the rest of the show, please.
My heart hurts.
Just say my pick.
My pick is Boss Baby.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I can't explain
Kent,
it.
that was, I looked, that was the number 1 worst rated
Yeah.
of the listener poll.
I feel like it's because kids are watching this movie so much, and there's a Netflix series.
Maybe people are thinking of the TV show and they think it's annoying.
So the synopsis is, if you haven't seen this one, Zach, have you seen this one?
I have.
A suit-wearing, briefcase-carrying baby pairs up with his 7-year-old brother to stop the dastardly plot of the CEO of Puppy Co. It's 97 minutes, so it's about 90 minutes too long.
It's a world where women are pregnant,
Yes.
but also babies are manufactured and then delivered and wear
Well,
suits.
Babies are almost kind of mind warped on this one because Boss Baby, who actually never gets a name in the movie, his new parents don't give him a name.
His name is Boss Baby.
It's just Boss Baby. He actually is given a bottle that keeps him from aging, so it pauses his body in a baby-like form while his mind grows and expands to understand the workings of the corporate world he loves so much. So he really is an adult in a baby body.
But here's the problem with this movie. Ken.
What?
The main
one problem? Okay.
Wait, scare me first of all. Poop, fart, poop, beauty. That's the biggest joke. That's the joke that got the biggest laugh from my kids. Is when they just expletives, poop related expletives. But the thing that bothers me the most about this movie is that the line between reality and fantasy is so confusing.
No, but they actually kind of explain it here, and it's the best part. So there's one part where it's a backyard car chase, and the chubby baby who's kind of funny, they're all chasing down the 7-year-old and trying to get this tape from him. Boss Baby is riding this cop car, which is flying through the air, and there's the 7-year-old is being dragged behind the car, and it seems like this really intense scene, and the parents look outside the window, and the cop car is moving like an inch at a time.
Right.
And so it does show
No, that's
that
just
based
one-
on perspective.
But I went through and looked, Ken. I actually did watch videos on this.
Yes.
And it talks about how he talks, but then they can't, because it sounds like baby to the parents.
Right.
But then when he's talking on the phone at one point, they're like, who's that? So they obviously heard the adult voice.
Yeah.
And then like there are actual effects that happen because of things that happen in the
Are you
fantasy.
saying this isn't 100% true?
I'm saying, well, then it gets to the end and it's like this unreliable narrator and Tobey Maguire saying, that's how I remember it, sweetie. But the problem is the line between reality and fiction is blurred so much that there's no stakes and no point.
Yeah. Also, if the villain of this movie got his way, there would be no more babies, basically setting up Children of Men. So this movie did set up a very, very great...
Very good movie.
Yeah, exactly.
This has the more baby bums than any other movie we have on this list, I'm pretty sure. Because that was like a crux for these filmmakers. They're like, hey, what's cute? Baby bums. Throw them in the movie.
They're cute.
But they kept throwing them in.
Yeah.
See, I just thought that this was a movie version of the Office Boss Baby Saturday Night Live sketch with Beck Bennett. Check it out if you haven't. All right, Joel.
Yes. Yes.
Such a good list left. One of these movies is directed by the guy who made Mad Max. Just saying.
Yeah, it is.
It's not this one because I'm choosing one that stars many people that we know and love, Kent.
Oh, no.
Kent,
No.
do you love Michael Keaton?
No. Don't do this.
Do you love John Hamm?
What are you doing?
Do you love Sandra Bullock?
Don't do this.
And Jeffrey Roche?
Don't do this.
Joel, you're doing well.
I'm choosing Minions.
Oh.
You chose Minions.
The mascot of bad
Kent,
animated movies.
I
You
looked
have
at
Despicable Me and
took
Minions.
Ones, you took ones that I was going to choose over this. You're pushing me down to the bottom of my list already. But this one, Minions, is not a good movie.
No. Let's talk about the good points. I'll help you out here. Minions Stuart, Kevin, and Bob are recruited by Scarlet Overkill, played by Sandra Bullock, a supervillain who, alongside her inventor husband, Herb, hatches a plot to take over the world. And so they're looking for the next great evil. They find a Tyrannosaurus Rex. They're looking for anyone throughout time, because I guess they're kind of timeless.
Except for when they go into hiding during World War II because they didn't want to have to portray the Minions following Hitler.
Weird. Strange.
That's literally why they put them in the ice cave.
If the sequel makes enough, I bet they do a spin-off movie.
With him and Hitler?
Hitler and Minions. Jojo Rabbit happened.
So...
Look.
This movie suffers from the side characters being put as the main characters. Yeah. But Sandra Bullock and John Hamm are having such a good time.
Collecting a paycheck.
Yes. There are 1960s references. Kids love that.
Did it need to be in the 60s?
No. But it worked.
And there are royal guards in their underwear. That's kind of funny, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Positive about this movie, it made $1.1 billion.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Big positive.
And
Also-
a budget of $74 million, so pretty low too.
Here's another positive. The one good thing about this pandemic we're experiencing right now is that it's pushed the next Minions movie a full year back. So we're getting this July of 2021
I'll
instead
say
of
this.
this year.
Can I say something positive about
Please
Minions?
do.
It could have been worse.
Oh.
I watched this movie and I went, you know what? I didn't like that, but it could have been worse. Because there were some gags in this that made me smile. I didn't laugh, but
So
it's not clever as funny as the Despicable Me movies. It's obvious. It's okay. This one is obviously made for small children, and children. I'll say this: children will be mesmerized by this movie. You watch
why
this
though?
one,
The character
and they want
design
to
is
watch
so
it.
basic.
Because they're not talking plot points. They're just doing something silly. And they're like, I know what's going on.
Also weird the effect it has on adults. And if I may, I want to go through some Minion memes I found
Oh, no. Please
online.
don't.
And these are real memes that have been used by
Didn't
moms.
you have one of your quotes used with the mini meme, Ken?
Yeah, but it was like a really dark one. So these are real memes used by moms on Facebook. One says, exercise? I thought you said extra fries. And it's got a dancing minion on it. Okay. The next one, it's a minion that has some anxiety. It says, if stress burned calories, I'd be a supermodel. Okay. I have one more. Just once in my life, I love to see a liar's pants catch on fire. And it's a sneaky minion.
Kevin or Bob? Yeah.
Stuart.
Stuart.
Mama boy.
Banana.
There are
Elimination.
minion bumps in this movie for some reason. A minion's wearing a thong.
Oh.
I just think that, they have bumps. Of course, they eat. They have to have bumps, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Even though they're pill-shaped anyways.
Let's move on. Oh, a little bit.
Okay, actually, I do want to give a quote that made me laugh when I looked it up today. So Scarlet Overkill is talking to Kevin. She says, she's pointing to a picture of the Queen. And she says, do you know who this is? And Kevin says, La Cucaracha. It's kind of funny.
The director of these movies, by the way. The director of these movies, Pierre Kaufman, he's the one who...
Bottom of the barrel.
He literally created a language. Like, there's literally a language created for the Minions where everything they say means another word in English.
Huh.
Like, he put some effort into these.
So it's like Klingon.
Kind of.
Did I just insult the whole Star Trek fandom?
No, they created a language.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
All right, Kent.
This is your last pick, Kent.
So we have... Let's see what we
The
have.
Emoji Movie,
'Kay.
Happy Feet, and Trolls.
Whatever I pick, Joel has to pick last. And then he has two really bad choices to choose from.
Yes, he does.
Because these are three horrible movies.
Terrible.
They are horrible. And this one is a travesty. Not my least favorite on the list, though.
Don't take it. I don't want to pick.
I get back up again.
No, you stole it.
I'm stealing Trolls.
Wow. There are some catchy tunes.
Look, are they catchy tunes or are they just unoriginal songs with I think there's 2 original songs here.
As I've done DJ events for kids. These songs go over really well.
Is it Can't Stop the Feeling?
Can't Stop the Feeling's good.
It's a legitimately good song.
That's outside of the movie, I love it. Inside the movie, I don't like it. And I hate, Kent, how they took Gorillaz, Clint Eastwood, and made it this weird...
It does kind of fit the scene, though. Because Bergenville is so dark.
But they're saying, I'm happy, and they pride themselves on not being happy, and then they're sitting there singing, I'm happy, feeling glad. And I'm like, don't take that song and put it... Everything in this movie is a karaoke number.
True Colors is like the emotional point of the movie. A song that kids would never know that they think was probably written for this movie. Anna Kendrick is the lead star, and oh my gosh, I would step on that troll.
You step on Poppy?
I would so step on Poppy. Justin Timberlake's Branch actually has some funny lines because he's the curmudgeon troll.
Yeah.
And by funny lines, I mean slightly more tolerable than sticking a needle in your ear. And at least they don't look like the toy treasure trolls because those things were atrocious.
This is a bright and colorful movie.
Too bright and too colorful. There are glitter farts all over the place. One character poops cupcakes. That's the joke.
Why? Why do children's movies have to rely on potty humor so much?
And here's what makes me sad. This is DreamWorks' first full-on musical since The Prince of Egypt.
Wow.
They're basically the same movie.
And also Justin Timberlake playing a troll who doesn't want to sing is like Rachel Lee Cook being unattractive, and she's all that.
Yeah.
This was directed by Mike Mitchell, by the way, who did Lego Movie 2, the second part, Chipmunks, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipwrecked, Shrek Forever After, and Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo.
All better movies than this.
Really?
I'd rather watch the animated version of Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo.
He did Sky High, too, so good on him for that.
I do like that one.
That's fine. And Shrek Forever After is better than Shrek 3, which should have been on the list.
I feel like this
Shrek
movie
3 is terrible.
Kent, I feel like Trolls is trolling parents.
Yeah.
Because it really is a series of karaoke numbers that are just stitched together by a very loose story that makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
So like you're just forced into this.
I think I got a root canal after watching this movie because the cavity went so deep from all the glitter and color. They had to pull all my teeth. Joel, you have 2 choices. This is your last pick.
Happy Feet and the Emoji Movie.
Putting you in this situation, it's worth it for me. This show. I want to know if you have the same worst movie as I do. Based on
This would be the one that doesn't get picked.
Yes.
Okay. You know what? I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to say it.
Just let it fly.
My pick is Happy Feet.
No, it's not. Happy Feet's the worst. Take it back.
Happy Feet is the worst, Kent. But it's better animated than Emoji Movie.
Take it back, though.
There are, once again, this is directed by George Miller, who did Mad Max, Fury Road, well, the entire Mad Max franchise. And I hate Happy Feet.
Yeah, no, you should still hate it and make it not your pick.
But I'll tell you what. If I was at, like, once again, at a TV store or like one of those stores where they had the movie playing, I could put Happy Feet on mute and I would be like, oh, cool animation. That's kind of cool to look at.
I'm trying to help you, Joel. Don't pick this.
I have to, Ken. Oh, by the way, this I
what's it about? First, tell us the basic plot, and then I'll get into the finer details.
Into the world of emperor penguins who find their soulmates through song, a penguin is born who cannot sing, but he can tap dance something fierce.
What's happened to you, Joel? Are you okay?
My soul is broken.
Let's talk about Happy Feet.
Tell me all the good things about it.
It's about a dancing penguin. Check. The dancing penguin gets kicked out of his community for dancing rather than singing. Okay. The penguin is kicked out of his community for committing heresy against the great penguin in the sky. What? What? So it's anti-religion.
It won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature.
And there were better animated features this year.
It beat Cars and Monster House.
Stop it.
Monster House.
He goes to SeaWorld, loses his mind in a terrifying scene. There are live action people in this because it's also an environmental movie.
Brave choice, Ken.
Pick the Emoji Movie right now.
It was a brave choice to put live action in an animated movie.
Save yourself.
This is the best thing Elijah Wood has done since Lord of the Rings.
Look, it does have Robin Williams in it.
Does.
Playing a lot of ethnic stereotypes.
Kind of entertaining.
Joel, stop it.
This movie
Did we
is
kill Joel?
This is the preachiest, dumbest movie I've seen in a long time. 1 star. I gave this 1 star. But I can't pick the Emoji Movie over because the Emoji Movie is an assault on the eyes and the ears and the heart.
Okay, so that means that the Emoji Movie is now the worst movie. So tell me why
sitting
you
on the
wouldn't pick
bench.
it.
It's sitting on the bench because that was marketed drivel. Like that was manufactured, marketed drivel where they...
Well, it's because they want to be like Pixar, and they're like, high concept movie, emojis.
That was popular 5 years ago. That was breaking 5 years ago. Let's get my personality. You know what my favorite movie on this list is, though? It's the one where the main character doesn't quite fit in with the norms around them. Love that.
So you didn't pick the Emoji Movie, Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Oh. They made Sir Patrick Stewart play poop. The poop emoji.
And they
on
keep
the
saying,
Emoji Movie.
we're number 2. We're number 2.
Emoji Movie, by the way, is the lowest rated Rotten Tomatoes, 7% from the critics.
But they play Candy Crush in Emoji Movie.
Candy
That's
Crush is
relevant.
entertaining.
10 years ago?
At least this movie. I don't know. Well, I'm not defending this movie. I can bash on
can
Emoji
bash
Movie
Emoji
all I
Movie.
want
Oh.
because it is absolutely terrible. But I don't know how it made $217 million.
You can. I'm going to allow you to take it back, though. Choose Emoji Movie over Happy Feet.
I would rather have Emoji Movie sitting on the bench, Kent. As much as I hate Happy Feet, I want Emoji Movie sitting on the bench.
the worst.
I really hate Happy Feet.
It's
so
the worst.
I hate myself.
Let
right
it be
now.
known that Kent thinks the Emoji Movie is great.
Oh, okay. Knock it off. Okay, take it easy.
All right, so Zach, if you could go down
What
each one of our lists.
Are our teams?
In fact, if I may read my list,
Yeah. Well, yes, you may read your list.
and then Kent, you read your list.
there we go.
Thank you, Zach. That was a very, very nice holding up.
Yes.
So my movies. These are movies you would pick that you can only watch for you'd only watch these 10 movies for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
I picked Despicable Me, Frozen, Ice Age, Storks, The Good Dinosaur, Hotel Transylvania 3, B-Movie, Shark Tank, Minions, and Happy Feet.
Not Shark Tank, it's Shark Tale, because Shark Tank is a good show.
Oh yeah, sorry, Shark Tale.
That's true. Can you read that from over here, Kent?
And I chose Lilo and Stitch, Cars 3, My Little Pony the Movie, Madagascar, Frozen 2, Secret Life of Pets, Ferdinand, Ice Age Continental Drift, Boss Baby and Trolls.
Wow. The ends of these lists are bonkers.
Yeah.
All right, Zach.
No,
you-
look, you don't win here.
I lose terribly.
There's no winning.
yeah, but I would like to hear your thoughts on which list you chose and why.
Also, while we read those, and we will make this a list available online
Yeah.
on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, which of those lists we just read is worse? Which is better? Which would you rather watch?
So I found that while you were picking them, I think it's really interesting because the strength is really in like the first 3 movies.
Right.
But then the last 3 movies really can take it
drop
away.
the average. Yeah,
The curve.
Okay. Hey, Kent, will you throw on some thinking music for me? Guys, what have you done to me? Jake, you ready to come back yet, buddy?
Zach, we had to research these movies and watch.
I have to
all of
watch them for
in the
eternity.
past. Yeah,
no,
okay.
no, just till you die.
Oh, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
which could probably be quick.
So if I go through, I went through and like looked at your choices against each other. You know, Kent's first pick versus Joel's first pick, and I thought, okay, which one of the two I would go with? And you kind of tied there. That you made some good picks, Kent. I mean, good.
Yeah, good
Joel, you
in
made some
comparison.
strong ones too. Your last 3 are real bad, Joel.
I know.
Do you have a favorite and a least favorite on the list?
I actually think,
Yeah, I'd like to know.
Joel, you start really strong with Despicable Me and Frozen. I think that's actually really good too. Kent, I don't like Lilo and Stitch.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
like siblings fighting, and so that movie doesn't do anything
But you're
for
okay
me.
with Frozen?
It's but they're not like arguing with each other like this. Like Lilo and
She tried
Stitch
to kill her with a giant
They're
snowman.
like straight up yelling at each other. I find Stitch to be extremely annoying. So you started off really rough for me. And I actually think Despicable Me is pretty funny. Cars 3, I mean, it's a solid enough movie.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Yeah, My Little Pony, of course, is pretty fun.
This is
So
Kent's side, yeah.
yeah. Okay, here we go. And if this is not by a wide margin, I am going to give the win, me personally, to Joel.
Yay!
It's close.
You're watching Happy Feet. We all lose.
I don't want to watch Happy Feet, but I actually do like your top,
Wow,
your
with,
first two.
Even with Secret Life of Pets on there.
I
was
Secret Life of Pets.
pandering hardcore on that
Secret
one.
Life. I absolutely hate Kevin Hart in that movie. Everything else is
Did
fine.
you see the second one? Panda.
It's so bad.
Couldn't. But I think overall, again, really close. I don't mind Frozen 2. I don't mind Secret Life of Pets. Ferdinand's whatever. Kent, you have some solid choices. Joel, you have the worst choices, but you also have the best ones. So
So it averages out. Well, there we go. So the movies
What a show.
The movies Zach will be watching for until he dies are Despicable Me, Frozen, Ice Age, Storks, The Good Dinosaur, Hotel Transylvania 3, B-Movie, Shark Tale, Minions, and Happy Feet.
I am so sorry.
Would, if I have to ask, if Emoji Movie would have been the last one on my list, would that have swayed it over to Kent?
probably for me, those are about the same. I actually like the Emoji Movie a little bit less.
Then
Okay.
Happy Feet.
I just think it's Happy Feet at least takes some chances. The Emoji Movie is like aggressively
Takes chances by covering popular songs.
Hey, Kent, you
Yeah, sure.
lost. Deal with it.
I feel like we all lost.
The Emoji Movie
did.
is aggressively
And we'd like you to
bad.
lose too, listener. In fact, if you could go on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, let us know out of these two lists, which we've talked about today, which one would you choose if you had to choose those to watch for the rest of your life?
And honestly, give us more bad movies because we could do a part 2 of this horrible
If you liked
idea.
it, if you liked it, let us know and let us
Yeah.
know which movies we missed. We would like that as well.
It's a good way to get these guys to say good things about bad movies.
Before we go, we'd like to thank our patrons, including the I Am the Listener tier, which includes Adrian Gray, Stephen Ross, Terry Finley, Crew Dutler, Braden Winterton, Chris Strout, Colton Cook, Jennifer Kukowski, Sean Sandquist, and if you've exhausted all other options, listen to a more civilized podcast. We also have our Bacon Council, which includes Nicole D. Hale, Chris Anderson, Ryan Farron, and Reverse Listener. Thank you for being patrons. Even if we didn't say your name, we really do appreciate it, and thank you for listening to Baconsale. But if you want to find me, you can find me at 786Joel on Twitter, or you can find me performing with Quickwits online. They're doing online shows every Saturday night at 9 o'clock. For more details, go to qwbcomedy.com or go to the Quickwits Facebook page.
If you want to find me on Twitter or Instagram, it's at Kenny3DD. And if you want to read my movie reviews when they come back, it's at ShowtimeShowdown.com.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Tumbling Mustard, but most importantly, hope you're following Bacon Sale at Bacon Sale on Instagram and Twitter, and of course, following on Facebook as well. You can also support the show at patreon.com/Bacon Sale, where you can become a patron member and starting at just $3 a month. You could hear our last Bacon Bit, where we talk all about what's going on in the entertainment world as far as news goes, which
Some
is
crazy
pretty
things
much every
happening
week.
in the
Great time.
Oscars. Yeah.
You could also support the show at tpublic.com/Bacon Sale, where you can pick yourself up a lovely shirt or assorted apparel. Again, that's tpublic.com/Bacon Sale.
So until next time, I like to move it, move it.
I like to move it, move it.
You like to move it, move it.
We like to move it.
Is one of the most disgusting threads I've ever seen on social media.
Like, how? Wait.
Yay! It took everything I had to not gag. This is going to be a painful show for us and hopefully for everyone else.
This is Zach's torment.
All right, guys, I've had my pre-show tinkle. Let's do this.
You know I'm recording, right? You knew. You knew.
You knew what it was when you picked
picked
it
me
up.
up.
This is the smooth, buttery voice of Joel.
This is the not yet gone through puberty voice of Kent.
And hi, I'm Zack. Wait a minute, her dress is pretty. She'll be popular.
We are bronies.
You were.
Fluttershy for life, but don't say that. We've laughed because we were in the theater watching My Little Pony in October. Dang it. I wanted My Little Pony.
An average episode of My Little Pony is better than most movies on this list.
That's true.
Folks.
Deborah's not Raymond.
DreamWorks is like, nah, we're good.
Tiny baby brains.
And we're not saying kids are dumb.
But they like dumb stuff.
Yes.
Sometimes.
And sometimes they're dumb. Watch your mouth, but also high five.
I'm so proud of you.
Were you around back then? Maybe there were dinosaurs.
I hope so. Because you talked about realism, about the zoo walls. Could you talk about storks real quick? That's the bar.
Wow. That's the bar we're at now.
Oh, that fear of quicksand is real.
Didn't jump out of a building while watching this. That's a win.
Our integrity is slowly degrading.
You know what I really love from my snowman? Existential dread.
Grandfather was the great villain. Hold your children to a higher standard of humor.
Fart jokes are funny, Joel.
Okay.
Oh, you seem confident.
No, I don't.
Well, you should probably talk before you date.
He's a funny guy. We don't have Human King.
I know.
How would you doing?
I'm not going to Human King.
Oh, wow.
I'm so sorry.
Fart poop beauty.
Exercise? I thought you said extra fries. If stress burned calories, I'd be a supermodel. Did I just insult the whole Star Trek fandom?
No, they created a language.
You wouldn't know.
I would step on that troll.
A penguin is born who cannot sing, but he can tap dance something fierce.
What's happened to you, Joel? Are you okay?
My soul is broken. It
No.
was a brave choice to put live action in an animated movie.
Save yourself!
Kent has a manly beard today. Kent has a manly beard. It's not as manly as mine or Zach's, but it's kind of a manly
Oh,
beard.
dear.